What are the proper steps to acquiring your next deal or your first mobile home investment? Let me walk you through my steps as to what I'll take in order to make sure that I do all the proper due diligence and basically just go down the line. There are steps you have to take and something that you do accordingly. You don't want to miss any step of it, and you don't want to rush. When you rush, then it never works out. But this is Jose J with Garcia Mobile Home University. Here are my steps to acquiring your first mobile home, your second mobile home, or your next one. Depends where you're at. Some investors are further into it than others, and that's all good and all. But again, steps. So the first step would be getting leads. You can sit there and kind of spin wood, try to draw for dollars. That's good. That's good practice, I think. But leads is huge. Leads are what's going to make you money because that's what brings you the deals to begin with. So if you don't have leads, you don't have deals, you're not making any money. You're just sitting there spinning, trying to over educate yourself is usually what I see a lot of when you're sitting there. I can't find my first deal. Well, there's nobody selling. There's always somebody selling. That's don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise. There's always somebody selling, and regardless of how big the park may be, somebody in that park either just sold, about to sell, or needs to sell. So but getting leads, and it all breaks down to the branding, marketing, advertisement. If you're not doing it correctly, you're not going to get leads. You're not going to get deals. The best deals are off-market deals, so that's how you attract them. Okay, talking to sellers. Obviously, once you get leads, your branding, marketing, advertising out there, you're going to start getting leads, whether it's through social media, where's your phone blowing up, text message, whatever. It's what do you say to these sellers? There's three different type of sellers in mobile homes. You have the mobile home park owner directly, who may be selling you multiple mobile homes. You have a park manager who may have one or two, or just wants to connect and reaching out. And or you may have a direct seller, a mobile homeowner who is currently living in it or just vacated the home or whatever. But there's all three individual people that you need to talk differently. Is what do you say to the sellers? That's huge. So you need to know that. Making offers. Once you do, again, you got your leads coming in, you have your phone or social media blowing up, and you're talking to these people directly. What do you offer them? How do you know what something is worth? Unlike real estate, we don't have the beauty of Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, etc. We have comps that we do legwork on. You have to figure these out on your own. So you have to be able to know these numbers. You have to know your market before you can make an offer, because only then do you know what the home is worth in its current condition as is, what we call, right? And that goes hand in hand with obviously what is selling ARV, which is after repair value. What is the lot rent? What is the monthly rent? Okay, so all these things, again, it's just doing the legwork. That's all. It's taking proper steps. We don't have, these social media sites, but we can still figure all this information out ourselves. Closings. After that, obviously, you've gotten to this point where you've made offers. Maybe they're accepted. Now it's time to move forward and go to the closing table. What does a closing look like for a mobile home? Very different from real estate. We don't do the same process. Very different, because understand that when it comes to a mobile home, you don't have real estate. Okay, it's not a stick built. It's not real estate. Period. This is private property, personal property, if you will. And so therefore, there's titles involved. Titles that are just like a vehicle, a boat, a motorcycle, etc. So the closing, it gets done differently, okay? But you have to be able to check the proper documents on this so that you know that you're not buying something that has a lien per se, something that has some type of bill with it. And we see this a lot, where there's a lien that is being held, where there's taxes that haven't been paid on the specific mobile home you may be interested in buying. It could be the lot rent itself, regardless of what park it is, this mobile home sitting on the specific pad pays X amount a month, or supposed to pay X amount a month. And if they do not, it starts to accrue. So therefore, you could be buying one that has 2-3 months behind. And guess who's responsible if you buy this? You are. So proper due diligence on documents, that is huge. You have to know how to check those. Then you have to know your exit strategy. You've acquired this home, you have it, you've regardless of the exit strategy, whether you're a wholesaler, whether you're looking to flip it, whether you want to rehab and turn it into a rental, rent to own, it doesn't matter. You have to know your exit strategy from the get-go. And that usually happens as soon as, to me, when I get a deal comes in, I'm looking at it, overseeing it, I'm doing my due diligence, and it's just a feel. Many times this feels like a wholesale deal, maybe something I don't want in this area. I don't like it, nothing specific. This is not much of my interest. So you know what? It's a win-win situation. Let me do a wholesale. Let me connect an investor, which I'll get him or her a home. Let me sell this home for the seller, which would be a win on that. And then I'll make profits in between. Wholesale, beautiful in real estate and mobile homes. So, but you have to learn your exit strategy. And some of you may be looking to be landlords. Nothing wrong with that. You know, that is the best source of steady income as long as they pay you. A lot of hands-on. So, but again, it's all what you want. You have to know your exit strategy, and this happens from the get-go. Always know that you don't just go in guessing. You have to know your numbers, because certain areas, it doesn't matter if you want to do rentals, it's not the market for it. That's just all there is to it. Okay, so learn that. Wholesale, I'll go into a bit on that, you know, because you'll hear me saying on it, it's just huge. This is something that you have to always take into account. Many people like to look down upon wholesale like, oh, that's for beginners. I don't do that anymore, which that's nonsense to say. How could you not do wholesale? The bigger you get, the more you're advertising, branding out there, you know, you're going to realize that more and more deals are coming. You can't take them all. There's just no way around it. You cannot buy them all. You cannot take on all of them at one time. You realize how busy you would be in that sense. So what you do is just hit the power of network connecting. You have other investor partners, friends, whoever, and well, I don't need this home specifically, so let me wholesale it over there. Okay, so wholesale is always around. You never leave wholesale. Um, After that, I would start jumping on with my handyman. So let's say I do decide to take one of these homes and I want to create a rent to own, which means obviously taking a down payment and then creating a note on the home itself. Or maybe I do want to be a landlord and I just want to turn it into a rental. Well, I need to have handyman and or contractors ready, right? So being able to do a interview with, you know, these and that's huge, handyman and contractors, whether you're in real estate and mobile homes, or talk to any veteran real estate investor or mobile home, and they will tell you that is the hardest task, is handyman. And it's unfortunate, but it is. You know, when it comes to handyman, you get that typical type of employee mentality where, you know, I don't feel like going to work today, I don't feel good, my car doesn't work, my dog is sick, etc. And it's the bottom line is that, you know, all these excuses just equal time out of your pocket, because if they're not in there rehabbing it and you're holding on to the property, not renting it or doing rent to own, somebody's not paying for it. You're paying for it. So that's huge. You know, handyman is something, you know, it's a huge step that you take on, but know how to interview a handyman and or contractor and know the difference. There is a huge difference between a handyman and a contractor. After that would be your next deal. You know, once you have this, you know your exit strategy, you come in, you done what you needed to, and jump on to the next one and the next one. I like to think that once you do anything for the first time, the second time just gets easier. It becomes practice. You know, practice creates what? I don't believe in perfect, but I believe you can get pretty great at it. So, yeah, those are my steps to acquiring a mobile home deal. Now, you know, these steps that I just shared with you is also what the 7-week course is all about. It's what the webinars that we do is all about. And we go into deep detail into these specifics, you know, getting leads, talking to sellers, making offers, closings, documents, handyman, exit strategies, wholesale. Okay. A lot of you out there don't have any money to get into mobile home investing, but the reality is you do. You just have to know wholesale. Same thing for real estate. You know, you have to, you're the middleman at this point. You're basically selling paper. You're selling a document. You're the bridge between the seller and the buyer, nothing more. So we get into all these. But yeah, if you're looking to get into mobile home investing, or you're looking to acquire your next one, we get a lot of investors who supposedly cannot find another deal because there's nobody selling. Again, nonsense. Okay. You just don't know how to advertise for it, or something is missing, and we can correct that for you. So, you know, you should have deals pouring on every day. I mean, our social media platforms are full. It just deals. No, they're not all deals. That's the thing is, but you know, you wave the good ones from the bad ones, the ones that are a deal from the ones that are not a deal. And then again, you know, something may not be a deal to you, but it doesn't mean that it's not to somebody else. You know, every investor is different. To me, maybe something may be a little more than I want to take at this time. To another investor, bring it on. So connecting, networking, know the power of. Yeah, visit me at Garcia Mobile Home University, short or GarciaMHU.com. You can see our coaching program options available. Now we do have a 7-week, like I was saying, but along with that, we're about to put a new tab for it, and that's a one-time call kind of thing. They're only $99 a call, and all these topics I just mentioned: getting leads, talking to sellers, making offers, closing documents, exit strategy, wholesale, handyman and your contractor, and your next deal. Any of those, if you just want one of those topics, we can coach you just on that specific. Now that is time limited offer, because we're pretty busy, and that's not something we want to start breaking up. It is a system in itself, so we like to think that it works together, hand in hand kind of thing. But you may be a veteran investor who just wants practice in a specific one we just mentioned. That's fine. Hey, by all means. Along with that, we are doing the credit card. That one is huge and getting a lot of attention. Credit card. Okay, goes back to I don't have any money. I can't invest wholesale. I'm always going to tell you, if you don't have any money, you should be wholesaling. But if you have good credit and you have credit cards, you can use a credit card to buy a mobile home, pay your handyman or contractor, and buy the material. So you can do all with a credit card. And I know that guy kind of brings people a little bit wrong. We're brought up in this idea that you're not supposed to use your credit cards. Don't max them out. They're bad. They ruin your credit, etc. Nonsense. I can teach you otherwise. We have a topic, and that is actually part of the level up. That's the next level above the webinar. That's the next level above the 7-week starter kind of thing. But if that's something you're looking to get into, how to use your credit card, it betters your credit if you do it right. So responsibility is the biggest thing on that one. But I can coach you. So we've made that one as part of these 1 hour 99 calls as well, and we will go over a lot of topics, and you will love it if you need it. I use them. I use my credit cards. I don't need them, but I still use them. Why not? It's free money if you know how to use them. All right, that's it for now. That's my steps into mobile home investing. Garcia, send me an email. Any questions on all this or anything you'd like me to discuss a little into detail, I don't mind. J@GarciaMHU.com. All right, till next time, thank you for watching.